Hi Capricorn. Welcome and welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. We're talking about May, which is crazy. I hope that April has been and is treating you well. We're gonna do things a little different this time around. We're gonna work with a different spread. I'm going to shuffle the deck 3 times one way, 3 times another way, split the deck, and then we're going to take the top 9 cards off of the deck. So 3 is just my number. If you have a number, you know what I mean. And if you have a number, drop it in the comments. Tell me what it is. So, what is the message for Capricorn for May? Message for Capricorn. Was that 3? I don't know. And for some reason I'm hearing in my head, like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I don't generally say that. So that's interesting, but don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it, of course. So we have the King of Wands, 7 of Wands, 4 of Wands, the Hermit, the Tower, 5 of Cups, interesting, 2 of Cups, 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords. We're going to take those together because I grabbed them together. Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Very interesting. Hold on. Okay, I just want to make sure everything was in frame. We'll see if this spread kind of lasts because it is just a larger spread. And of course, trying to get it all in the frame. Like, this is the size of a normal tarot card. So anyway, I'm like, what card was that? Okay. So there's not necessarily like a rhyme or reason to this. It's kind of like bingo, where we will talk about each row, we'll talk about each column. My intention is just to kind of bring all of the messages as they come. Like, it can go up and down, it can go, or up, down, down, up. However which way the energy is flowing, that's where we're gonna go. There's kind of like a beginning, middle, end type energy also, just the way that the cards are laid out. So we start with the King of Wands. It's very interesting. I mean, like, I think all of the... Who's missing? I don't know if you just heard that. Like, Siri said something? No. Anyway, that was weird. I was trying to see, like, if all of the suits are on the table, and I believe they are: Wands, Cups, Pentacles, Swords. Yeah. So, it's very interesting. We start with the King of Wands. And the King of Wands, when we talk about wands, for instance, that's fire. So, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And specifically, I believe that it's a Sagittarius card. Could be somebody in your life, doesn't have to be. But the wands talk about action and communication. There's a lot of creativity that come with the energy of the wands. And when we get to the king, that's the highest expression of the suit, right? So not only do you embody that energy, but you're also able to kind of share that with other people, because generally kings have a kingdom that they oversee, right? So this could even be uncharted territories, like, you know, kind of trying to think of avenues to explore. there's a lot of motivation that comes with the King of Wands also, because, you know, the King of Wands generally is entrepreneurial as well. So that's kind of where even too, like, I mean, it's obviously it could be just a higher level in a position. So, you know, I mean, just CEO, manager, you know, but the entrepreneurial part comes from wanting to be able to express yourself freely versus kind of being narrowed down or boxed into a corporation's identity, right? This could be something that you're considering. This could be something that you have already kind of begun to step into. You could even just kind of be plotting and planning what your next moves are going to be. And then we have the Seven of Wands next to that. And the Seven of Wands talks about kind of having to be defensive about your position. Really almost kind of having to defend what you're doing or why you're doing it. I always see these 6 wands down here as being like other people's opinions, you know, other people just kind of like interjecting themselves into your business. And, you know, again, just really kind of having to kind of defend your own position, like defend the reason why you are doing what you're doing. And then the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands talks about foundation. There's this level of celebration here. There's this harmony and unity that's going on. It kind of, you know, like it's generally depicted by having like 4 pillars. So that's kind of where the stability, you know, like having a firm foundation. This could even be, you know, kind of this could even be, you know, like weeding out the people who either don't see your vision or aren't interested in seeing your vision or are trying to even change, like, you know, just going from 7 to 4. These are the 4, and it doesn't have to be 4. I'm just, you know, this is a 7 of Wands. This is the 4 of Wands. That's the only reason why, you know, but this could be just narrowing it down to the people who get it. Or at least are attempting to get it, right? Like maybe they even just trust you because you get it. Very interesting. And then we have the Hermit here. And the Hermit talks about kind of being a lone wolf. The Hermit is very introspective also. You know, there's a stance of, you know, kind of meditation here, being in the middle of the woods. Like there is generally this energy of self-discovery that comes with the Hermit. And it is generally this path that you kind of walk alone because, you know, there are, you know, of course, like you are the only person who knows every experience you've ever had, every thought, every, you know, conversation that you've been involved in, right? Like you're the common denominator and all of that, right? So that's kind of why like the Hermit is generally depicted as, you know, somebody that's kind of walking the path a little bit alone, but with a purpose of, you know, kind of discovering something within yourself. It's that energy of the only way out is through. So you're going through. And then we have this Tower card in the middle, and the Tower is the central energy. You know, the Tower is going to really kind of take out anything that is no longer serving a greater purpose in our lives. And, you know, the Tower moments, sometimes it's really not fun to be in the middle of, because you just kind of recognize, like, you know, maybe shit is crumbling around you and you're like, what the hell is going on here? However, you know, like it's kind of organized chaos. There's a reason for it. And that reason is generally because it no longer serves you. And it's either whether you see it or not, you know. And specifically, if we don't see it ourselves, you know, that's kind of when it's definitely harder. And then the Five of Cups. So, you know, I mean, this is, you know, just kind of feeling a sense of loss. We can assume that the party didn't go the way that this figure thought it would. Maybe people didn't show up, you know, I mean, but the focus is on these 3 cups that have spilt here. But there's still these 2 cups on the table, and it still looks like there's wine in that bottle also. So, you know, 5s are transitory energies. Like, it's, again, something to move through. And it's interesting that these are all in the same, because, you know, the lesson with the 5 of Cups is that there's this invitation to focus on these 2 cups, or at least just recognize that all is not lost. Like, these are already spilled. There's nothing that you can do about that at this point, but there's still this opportunity here to make these 2 cups worth it. And what is interesting is that the card that comes after this is the 2 of Cups. How amazing is that? And again, right? Like, I mean, this could be relationship. And relationship can be anything from romantic to platonic to business. It would, of course, depend on your situation. But we have the 2 of Cups here. And the 2 of Cups talks about, of course, you know, I mean, like, a lot of people kind of put it in soulmate type energy because, you know, there's 2 people here. So again, it could have to do with a romantic relationship. It could have to do with business, but it's, you know, we start with the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups says that our cups are full. Our needs are being met, so much so that it's overflowing. So we have enough energy and enough compassion and empathy for ourselves that we're also able to share that with other people. And that's what the 2 of Cups does. You start to share it with somebody else, but also here, you'll recognize that their cups are evenly full. So, you know, what you're giving, you're also receiving, because the other person involved in the situation, they also have their own Ace of Cups. So they're also able to provide you with what you need. So it's not just your cup is being continually depleted. You're also getting your needs met too. So that could even be why, you know, this situation is kind of breaking down, because maybe you have been putting a bit too much. Maybe it's been more 90-10, and you're the one that's outputting 90 while the other person is outputting 10. And, you know, I mean, endings are never easy either, you know, like regardless of what type of a relationship it is. But it's also kind of this message about opening the door for somebody else to come in with their cup full and meet you halfway. I mean, even this, I don't know, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but even this cat down here is sharing a fish. I just noticed that. That's funny. I hope you can see. But this is kind of where it gets a little sketch also, because next to that we have the 7 of Swords. And the 7 of Swords talks about there's this kind of undertone of betrayal and trickery that comes with the Seven of Swords. You know, this figure is carrying 5 swords, and they're looking at these other 2 swords here. That's just kind of the general undertone. I mean, you know, like I've heard the Seven of Swords be discussed as, you know, taking risks. Also really just kind of keeping things close to your chest. Like you may not be sharing all of your thoughts and all of your ideas and all of your plans, because maybe you are just kind of worried about somebody stealing them. Maybe you've had an experience before that somebody did kind of have this energy of being manipulative, or even, you know, you have been betrayed in the past. And with it being next to the Two of Cups, this could have been in a relationship. And again, it could have been in a business partnership. But there just maybe is kind of some type of hesitation about kind of fully going down that road. And then we have the Five of Swords and the King of Pentacles, which is interesting because the King of Pentacles is your energy. Did I say Capricorn at the beginning? I'm pretty sure I did. Okay. You know, this is the Capricorn card. So, you know, the Five of Swords talks about competition. You could be any one of these characters. You could be this person that has all the control over the 5 swords. You could be this person where you're like, what the hell is going on? You could be this person that's, you know, kind of upset. But it's interesting because did this person come prepared? Like, is this Hermione? And, you know, these are the other people that are like, how do you even know all that, you know? Or did this person, you know, kind of take the swords from these 2? It's interesting. And then the King of Pentacles, again with the King, right? It's the highest expression of the Pentacles. Pentacles have to do with our money, our time, our resources, materials. It could be our physical 3D body, right? And again, with the King being the highest expression, you know, I mean, like you have enough. I mean, he's holding a cake here, you know? There's this ease that comes along with this card. I mean, like, you know, just this lush kind of environment. You know, everything is flourishing. The King and his whole kingdom is flourishing. And maybe this is kind of what you have been striving to do. And then the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. The Ace of Pentacles being a brand new opportunity, brand new start. It could be a new job. It could be a new kind of source of income. It could be a new offer. You could be embarking on a health journey, right? I mean, you know, like anything that involves a pentacle, you know, it could be any of those things. And it would be kind of the newer, younger energy coming in. And I love that this is kind of the underlying, this is the bottom of the deck, right? This is the underlying energy of the whole reading. And the Nine of Swords behind there. So this is something that, you know, maybe has been causing a little bit of stress and anxiety. And, you know, even starting at the King of Wands and how the Tower is literally in between this whole situation. And how, you know, on the other side of it is this King of Pentacles. So this could even be, you know, like a couple different things. This could be that, you know, whatever this King of Wands energy is like for you, right? Like whatever the creative venture or whatever the motivation is, and however you're going to go about doing that could be creating this kind of tower moment and giving an opportunity for these old timelines to just kind of collapse. And this old way of being or this old way of thinking, whatever the case may be. And kind of ending up at this King of Pentacles energy, but it's almost kind of something that maybe you have to kind of fight for. This could even be that there's more than one person involved. Like, it, you know, it could just be a competitive field that you're trying to get into. And this is almost like, you know, just kind of saying about, would you rather be this person who came prepared, or would you rather be one of these two? I personally would rather be prepared. Why did Scar just start singing in my head? From Lion King. So the King of Wands, the Hermit, and then the Two of Cups. It's interesting because we do have a quote unquote masculine energy. It's not gender necessarily related. We have a feminine energy here, and then we have a masculine and feminine energy in the Two of Cups. So, you know, again, like there could be more than one person involved in the situation. This could even be you really kind of honing in and understanding the balance that it takes between action and motivation, but also being in tune with your star player. Like, you know, really being clear about why you're doing the things that you're doing and kind of expressing those things authentically, because you have kind of did this self-discovery thing. And then the Two of Cups would be kind of the melding of those energies together. It doesn't necessarily have to be two separate people. It doesn't have to be relationship. It could very much be like how, you know, we're filling our own cups. We're understanding how the balance of those things, these energies, work in tandem. This could also, if there is more than one person involved, this could be that somebody is like, I have all these ideas, I'm ready to go, let's go, 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 go. And the one person is like, okay, let's just take a step back, chill. let's really kind of think about this. Let's really, you know, kind of hone in on what we're doing, why we're doing it. And there is kind of this agreement that is going to be reached, so that both energies can be honored. And then we have the Seven of Wands, the Tower, and the Seven of Swords. So it's interesting that there's two sevens. There's two fives in this column. Very interesting. The Seven of Wands above the Tower would be telling me that it's almost kind of like you're trying to prevent this tower from happening. And it's also kind of like, you know, like you're trying to plot and plan. This is a lot of mental gymnastics. You know, and it's almost like, you know, trying to prevent this, you know. And I want to say that you can do that, but the Tower, to me, like the Tower doesn't really, I mean, it might stall things for a little while, but if it is no longer meant for you, like if the energy of the thing is no longer in the thing, the Tower is going to take it out. Like, you know, if the energy was present, obviously to have a relationship with, if this is a relationship, or if the energy was there to start this business or be involved in the business or to accept the job, whatever it is. And if that energy has run its course and it's no longer, the Tower will take it out regardless of what you kind of try to do. This is kind of like, you know, is there anything else I can think of? Like, is there anything that I haven't tried yet? Try it all. Honestly, I mean, like, that's the type of person that I am. I will not be satisfied with something coming to an end or crumbling until I feel like I have tried everything that I know how to do, or everything I've heard to do, or right. So there's nothing wrong with that, but just, you know, kind of keep in mind. And it's interesting that this is the column that's in the middle, you know, sandwiched between these two columns. Because this would, you know, has this feeling of, you know, this coming together and, you know, the possibility of something, you know, really kind of being balanced and really kind of coming together nicely. And even this, I mean, you know, this can go either way, you know, with the Two of Cups, the Tower, and the Four of Wands. Like, this could be really kind of shifting, you know, this could be finding your actual target audience. Like, you know, this kind of coming together thing that's going on here could really be, and even just, I'm just like recognizing her face now and just kind of how it's like, see, I told you everything was going to be okay. Because look at, you know, what's on the other side. There's this, you know, kind of community aspect and festival and fun and, right, like, or even the other way. There could be, you know, a couple people that are being knocked out of the situation, figuratively, of course, in order to bring balance or restore balance in a situation. Maybe there's somebody that's kind of got to go. Figuratively, of course, right? Like, so the Four of Wands, the Five of Cups, the Five of Swords. Again, with this community thing, this community aspect and unity and feeling like you have a stable kind of foundation under you. Maybe there's this concern about the rug being pulled out from under you. Or maybe there's a concern about, you know, kind of how the community is going to react to the thing. Like, maybe there's a concern that they're not going to show up. And then with the Five of Swords, this almost kind of feels like over-prepared now. But also, now it's like, you know, as soon as I picked it up, it was like the energy just kind of changed in it. Like, this could even be, you know, if it doesn't necessarily work out the first time the way that you envisioned it, that could actually kind of force you to maybe, you know, like change directions a little bit, or at least just make some tweaks and changes. And then, you know, that kind of allows or creates this King of Pentacles. Swords have to do with our thoughts. It's air energy, so it's you know, how we perceive a situation. It's also ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds. So, you know, again, I mean, like you can, it's almost kind of like you can choose whoever you want to be on this card. But, you know, I mean, the focus is kind of on this. So it's like, again, you know, maybe there's just kind of this shift in focus or a shift in perspective because this happened. And because this happened, it really kind of catapults you to be in this King of Pentacles energy. And maybe it even creates this new opportunity or just a new type of business, or even just a new way of, you know, kind of running, like a different way of running your business. You know, she's holding up the pentacle there, and now the pentacle is part of the throne here that he's sitting on. So there's also kind of this message about, you know, almost remembering where you came from. And I also love how we go from the beginning of the expression of the pentacles to the end right here. I think that's beautiful. I think I'm going to leave it there. I mean, this is definitely a journey. And I don't necessarily think, like, you know, we're talking about May, of course, but it's not necessarily like, you know, this is going to be, it's going to unfold and resolve itself in May. This could have already been going on, clearly. But this kind of seems like it is maybe going to, you know, take a little bit of time to unfold. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Capricorn. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.